Greetings, beautiful people. My name is Simon Javan Okelo. I am the CEO and the founder of Madaraka Festival and also the host of Madaraka Festival podcast here on YouTube. I am really excited to introduce my guest today, Ru. Ru is the CEO and the founder of Mr. Naturals in Renton, Washington, and is a brother that I've seen evolve from very humble beginnings at Good Hair Salon in the Central District many years ago, and now is doing just amazing things. What did I miss in this introduction? I want you to add if there is anything we need to ensure is in there.
Man, we need it all. We need it all. We need it all. There's never a cape that's too small. We always need to blow that up. No. Right? Single father for a long time. Mm-hmm. Amazing entrepreneur. I'm working on like a book. I'm working on tons of things. I love projects. So
you are always working on something.
Exactly. That's what creatives do, right?
Yeah.
We're continuously working on projects. So there's so much to add in there.
Yeah, so much.
Because you summed it up well.
Yeah. You have a line of products, like beauty products, natural hair products.
Yeah.
What's the name of your line of products?
Kanji.
Yeah. You see, and so many more.
Exactly. It's a constant flow.
Yeah. So then, take us back to when you were like 5 to 10 years old and reflect on some of the colors, the sounds, the foods, the smells, the things that you grew up around that influenced and nourished who you are today.
The interesting thing is I grew up in a very Caucasian household, which is completely opposite to like kind of the personality I am today, I would say, and who my work like reflects. Mm-hmm. But I didn't have the opportunity to have, my father is African American, but I didn't have the opportunity to grow up with him as a presence in my life. And being with my mother, it really gave me a sense of kind of yearning towards that side of me that I just wasn't getting from her, right? Mm-hmm. When you grow up with two different parents, especially like multicultural, there's pieces that you want to learn about yourself, and I just didn't receive that. So I gravitated towards that as a young kid, trying to grasp as much as I could about what I didn't know and what I didn't have exposure to. So influencing myself and pushing myself into the community as much as possible, especially the Black community, was so important and just kind of created who I am today. The foods, fried foods, Southern foods, those were huge staples. And I used to love, fried chicken. I don't eat so much of that stuff now just because how unhealthy it is.
But they're so delicious, you know?
And my father, actually, he passed away from like obesity. He had like health issues, insulin. He was taking insulin. So I just don't eat that way now. But it was such a staple, and it still is so much of a staple now, having that in the community. So eating those types of foods were always delicious, really enjoyed. And then hair, really, that's the avenue I got into, and that's really like dictated a large part of my career. But I've always had, curly, kinky hair. I was the only one in my family to have curly and kinky hair. None of my brothers did. I was the only Black one. I was the only Black one, which is crazy. Out of 4 brothers, I'm the only Black one. So like really my identity was so kind of far-fetched from everyone else's in the household, just because I had this extra layer of culture that they just didn't have, right? And searching for that became a journey that I had no idea would take me kind of to this place that I'm in now. And yeah.
Man. I could listen to you talk for a while. So then, you grew up in that environment, and how did you end up in Seattle, and how did you end up at Good Hair Salon?
Yeah, so I've always lived in Seattle, and the interesting thing is that my mother actually lost custody of me for quite a while. She's got in a really bad relationship, and she just couldn't manage. And I got put in foster care for a long time. And just due to that trauma, I went from foster care, school, straight to prison. That was the strategic pipeline that I took, and a lot of people take that going to foster care. They either end up on drugs or in jail.
Can you repeat that again? Foster care and then?
Foster care, a little bit of school, and then straight to prison.
Yeah. Man.
Which is what most foster kids kind of run into. They just, a lot of them don't have the support they need. Mentally and physically, and I didn't have that. So I went straight. Complete statistics, complete statistic. And just based on those now I say I'm burning words. Statistics. Based on those statistics, I had probably a 93% chance of reoffending and returning. And I got to a point where I was doing 2 years. I had 2 years in prison to do. Due to a gun charge. I wasn't supposed to have a gun, had a gun, just was running amok, and I got stationed with lifers. So people that were never getting out, never seeing the outside of gray walls that you couldn't see past. And so being next to them and having conversation with them and just hearing how immature the thought process of being like so emotionally driven as a man. I mean, I didn't have any men to teach me how to be a man. I had to learn that from whatever I had around me. And unfortunately, that wasn't good representation, right? And so just listening to them talk about some of the important things to life. Like, what are those? And I know a lot of people think that money is kind of one of the most important things in life. And I quickly realized that that's not the case, right? Your freedom is. Your family is. There's so much, your peace, like your mental freedom, is so much more important. And so I just decided to make a change. I was like, okay, whatever happens from this moment on, it can't get any worse than me just never seeing the light of day, right? So I'm like, I get released. I'm trying to go to school. I get back into that rotation of like, God, this is hard.
The cycle is about to...
This is hard, yeah.
Yeah, you're about to come full cycle again. So you're like, I'm not going there. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So I'm in school trying to become a stylist. Yeah. And I got into like hair. Why did I even pick hair? I was actually trying to learn how to do my own hair when I was younger. And because once again, I was the only one with curly hair, and my mom loved it, so she made me keep it for years when I was younger, and it became attached. I became attached to it, and found importance in it just because it drew me to my mother and my father both. And as I didn't have a lot to like anchor me to them, that was one of the things. And so in prison, I also did hair to like earn money and feed myself. So I was like, okay, well, if I'm already doing it in this type of, environment, why can I not do it outside of here? And so I got out of prison, jumped into hair school, and I was still trying to get my like feet in the door of a lot of places. Housing, there was tons of different barriers, work barriers now, because back then they required that you let institutions know that you have a felony or that you are a felon. Same thing with work. They don't do that anymore, luckily. But those were such big barriers. When people see that, they're like, oh, no, we don't want any problems. Regardless of like where you're trying to get to, they don't see that. People don't see that, right?
Yeah, people don't care.
They see where you've been, and they're like, we don't want that kind of drama, or we don't want that those issues here. So I kept pushing. I had to sleep in my car while I was in school just to make it. Luckily, I had tons of support in school. Like my teachers were everything. Like they had a pantry for food when I wasn't eating. They always sent me kind of resources and just affirmations, and it honestly kept me pushing. But me returning back to that life was like hair thin. Hair thin to just have to struggle that hard.
Man.
And from there, I kept pushing. I just kept trying to replay that. Like anything is better than being behind bars and not ever getting out, and recycling that. And from there, I was able to come into contact doing hair shows. I was doing hair shows at the time, right before I finished up school, just to kind of push my name a little bit farther. And I got recruited from Miss Danielle Thomas Ross, which was the owner of Good Hair Salon, the first ever natural hair salon in Washington State. And yeah, she recruited me, and we continued to kind of work together. She mentored me for 5 years, which was an amazing experience. Like the amount of love that I got from that institution was incredible. Even when I felt like I wasn't deserving of it, like not deserving of the love at all. Like they were always there, and they're still to this day. We're still a big family. Like we still get together. Man, like I've never felt that ever before. And my immediate family, like my blood is so small. We only have a handful of cousins and stuff like that, and we're not all that close. A lot of us got split up just due to mental health and life. Yeah, things going on in our family, and yeah, I just received the amount of love that I could have never dreamed of from them. And they kept me in it. Truly kept me in it. Not to say it hasn't been hard, but, you know, when you have a sense of community and you have that community that's there to, like, prop you up, it's everything. It really is. Man. It can make and break you as a person. So
yeah, it's everything.
Yeah.
It's everything. So now you've gone through this entire journey, and let's say, even tomorrow when you walk into, Mr. Naturals, you're opening your own space. Yeah. You're walking around, and as you walk into your space, on the left are your products, including workout, items, Then you have your employees coming after you, These are people that completely depend their lives, their families, How does that feel?
Honestly, it feels amazing. But as amazing as it feels, it's still a duty of responsibility.
It's a lot of duty
and so it's a lot, because you're also bearing the weight of the world. Like the mistakes you make, the people around you, your community has to, kind of almost pay for that. Yeah. So it makes me very critical in some of the decisions I decide to make.
Oh man, you're speaking to I can feel it, but keep going.
Yeah. Not that I don't love it. I do. I love it. I love being able to have the opportunity to care and reciprocate the love that I received, and reciprocate, all the attention and influence that I received. I love to reciprocate that. So it's a humbling experience. Every time I walk in there, I'm like, I don't know how I got here. I do know how I got here. I don't know how I got here, but
I'm here.
And it happened. And it's just jaw-dropping every time. And I'm blessed to be able to go home and look at that and hear that influence and hear how excited they are when they walk in the door, or see the reflection of that with clients. And there was so much buildup. I had no idea I was going to be at this space and in time, and having missed an opportunity to get to the opportunity of owning Mr. Naturals is wild. So I'm blessed.
It's so wild, man. And it's clear that you're diversifying your investments and I want you to speak about that. Speak about some of your products outside of Mr. Natural, and also speak about your real estate journey briefly.
Yeah. So how Mr. Naturals initially came to be in the first place was I missed the opportunity. The owner wanted to sell her business, and I just wasn't prepped and ready.
Good,
yeah,
man.
Yeah. And I wasn't prepped and ready. I tried to get ready, but it just wasn't. It wasn't
fast enough.
It wasn't fast enough, and I missed that opportunity. And I was like, man, I just put in all this work to try to get this business, and now it just feels weird to like try to just go back to normalcy. I'm like, I need to create a new normalcy. So, I dipped into everything I had, every penny I saved, and I put it all into gambling on myself and building Mr. Naturals up. And I worked in there for 2 years just by myself, just grinding, 12-hour days, like almost 7 days a week working, just trying to build everything. And luckily I had, come in contact with some other stylists and some other opportunities. And I was like, you know what? Even though I don't feel like I'm ready for these opportunities, I need to grasp them. I need to grasp them because I've already missed the opportunity. And I don't want to miss any more because I don't feel like I'm personally ready. Because that's just an emotion. Yeah. You feel like you're not personally ready, but you have no idea until you're already in it.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm not going to do this anymore. If opportunity presents itself, I'm going to just try to jump in and I'll figure it out. I've already figured some things out. I'll figure it out.
You can now... You go to a place where you can now trust your gut.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But, there's still that side of fearfulness that comes with it.
Yeah.
And, it's just like taking that leap and hoping for the best or knowing the best will come no matter what that looks like. And that's what I did was just jump on it as much as possible. And having that opportunity to bring folks in and become employees and work for me and has allowed me the freedom and the space to work on other projects and look at other projects, which is when we started the product line. We started the product line in 2019, right before COVID happened. And luckily we did. I was already on the kind of pathway to pivot. And so when COVID shut everything down, that was probably our main staple to keep revenue through. And the ability to kind of create products, which we were already working on like a year or 2 years prior. Usually it takes about 2 years for formulations to happen. Through testing and other trial and errors. And then just continuing to see new projects and allow them to unfold. Now we've gotten to the point where like we're fully staffed at this location, right?
Yeah.
And I've been pushing to become fully staffed. And all the revenue that I have been able to generate, I just like set aside, invested in speculative like investments like Bitcoin. I was an early Bitcoin investor. I had a client that came in. Shout out to that client too. That was like, you should invest in this. And I was like, maybe I'll put a little bit of money in there just to see, what's going to happen, what's not going to happen. And it started generating like some good money. And I was like, okay, well, let me continue to put money here. And I was able to kind of trade and make more from that and do it on the side versus like having to invest all my time into it, like running the business takes. And that honestly is how I created most of the revenue to buy the building that I have now. But ownership in the Black community is low.
It's so low.
It's very low.
Yeah.
And I think now, based on the statistics now, it's like under 1% or something like that.
Wow. Nationally or locally?
Yeah. Nationally.
Wow.
Yeah. It's very, very low.
Yeah.
And
you mean ownership of property?
Yeah, property.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And some of the lessons I've learned leasing kind of the property that we have now for the first location, which we're expanding to, this will be the second location.
Where's this second location, by the way?
Tacoma.
Tacoma.
Yeah. I was born in Seattle, but I grew up a good portion of my life in Tacoma.
Okay.
Probably the first, up until like high school.
Okay.
I grew up in Tacoma. So.
That's going to be a big, it's going. A lot of our people live there.
Yeah.
Clientele.
Market is huge. Market is huge right now,
and all the way to Lakewood.
Yep. And it's steadily growing. I mean, I've been blessed to have so many people from so many different areas move, or so many people from so many different areas kind of travel to see us. We have people from Washington, from California, Oregon, that all travel just to come to see our stylist, which is a testament to like the work that we do now, and then the possibilities of what we can be, right? And seeing that need, I mean, I don't think I was ready just on my personal side to get to that point. I mean, I was still like a single father, and I was a single father for almost like 10 years, raising my daughter by myself, also while building the business. And I just didn't feel like I wanted to put that level of stress on myself. Like I wanted to be able to actually like spend time with her and enjoy as much of the days, her younger days, as much as possible, especially because it took so much of me at the beginning when she was so young to build the initial stages of the business. I was like, I want to be able to enjoy some of the ride, right? What's the point of building all this if we're not going to enjoy any of it? And so I didn't feel like I was ready for quite a few years. And this opportunity kind of opened up. I was already kind of talking to a broker about different properties out there and the possibilities, and nothing really was catching my eye. And this property popped up, and I was like, okay, it looks cool. And talking to my sister, I showed it to her. She's like, you know what? You should just do this. Ownership is so important. It's so important.
You can leverage it for so many other things.
Exactly. And just the legacy, like our legacy right now. I mean, if something happens to the building that we're currently, in and renting,
you're stuck.
We're out of luck.
Yeah,
we're out of luck, right? So now we have the opportunity to, create something so much more, regardless of whatever happens on the back end. Like we own the building. So it all happens because we want it to happen versus like extra circumstances, right?
Man.
Yeah. So I actually I cashed out, my retirement. I took out all the investments that I had in crypto, sold everything, and put the money down to get this building. And luckily, I had bought a home quite a few years ago, like 6 years ago or so. And so I've amassed like quite a bit of equity, and I've done a lot of renovations on it over the years. And so now to renovate the new building, not just buy the building, but now we have to renovate it, right? So there's just so much extra costs that go into it. So now I'm like taking equity out so I can invest in this property. And what I wanted to do with this building that we got is to not only just generate revenue from the salon, but also dip my toes into like being a real estate investor. And so the building's actually going to encompass 2 commercial spaces, which will occupy one of them. The other one will more than likely lease out as a community property, and then has an apartment building upstairs. So we have apartments too as well. And so this will be my toe into like real estate investing, which is huge, and the incentives for that are huge. And I'm learning so much, even with the trial and error situations going on right now. I'm learning so much about how how just functional it is and how important it is. So. Yeah.
Man, I love it.
I'm blessed.
And you're a dreamer, you know,
Yeah,
and a risk taker, you know. I love it.
I mean, that's what it takes to amass whatever you want in this world, right? We wouldn't all be here if we didn't dip our toe into kind of the unknown.
Yeah.
Right?
You have to. You have to. Man, sometimes I feel lost in some of these things I'm doing.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, wow. Like you look back and you're like you're in too deep to even think about looking back. You know, you just like have to turn around and look ahead and keep going, you know.
Yeah.
And so watching you grow and take on all these challenges has truly been an inspiration for me personally, especially because you've seen the work I'm doing as well. And so you are really, an inspiration, but also someone that I know has observed, and not also observed, but also supported me. You know, I've seen you at so many Madaraka Festival events. You know, I remember the days when the entire salon was at Madaraka, you know.
Yep.
And one is I want you to just speak about your own reflections of Madaraka Festival. Like, this is the 11th year anniversary. I want you to just reflect on it. It's coming up August 30th, Pier 62. So you can look at that and speak about it a little bit. But this is actually just a free portion for you to speak about Madaraka for a second. Yeah.
You want me to wait until that door is...
No, just keep going.
Okay.
Yeah. I was trying to measure what I'm saying to give them space, but let's keep going.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've been in it since before it was even a thing, Madaraka, right?
Yeah.
We talked, I remember us talking in the chair about the concepts and getting started and, just the beauty of it. And amassed 11 years is crazy work. So definitely shout outs to you because you've been keeping it pushing, and that's so important. Make sure you guys check that out too as well, Madaraka. And so, yeah, I mean, I've always had individuals that are creatives like you, and I've tried to be as supportive as you guys have also been to the work that we do. And Madaraka has been an amazing opportunity for company and culture and community to come all together and relax and enjoy and learn, and seeing everybody dressed to the nines, dancing, laughing, eating good, all the different venues and all the work going back to all the work you're still doing in Africa is amazing, and being able to give back I know is humbling at any point. The humbling work that I've done, that I've affected, like just some of the community that I have, like you've touched so many people in such a larger audience. Like I couldn't imagine like the influence and just how grateful, you could feel doing that. So, definitely a testament. It's satisfying. A testament to the hard work. Like it really is. So.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Now, I want you to look at this camera and first, invite people to Madaraka Festival, August 30th. Second, invite people to subscribe to Madaraka Festival on YouTube.
Okay. Pier 62?
Pier 62.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys, make sure to go check out Pier 62 Madaraka Festival. Subscribe, like, heart, all that. Make sure you guys follow and watch more of these videos for future content.
Perfect. Now also look at that camera and let people know how they can support you and Mr. Naturals, where Mr. Natural is located, so that we can get more of our community members to come and support.
Yeah, Mr. Naturals, MrNaturals.com. We're located in Renton, but we're also coming to Tacoma. Support. What does even support look like for us? that's what, liking our videos, that's sharing them. We put out content all the time. We've amassed, a great amount of following, but we can always use more, more love, always. Always share the love, you guys. That's what our community is built on, right? And especially nowadays with all the environment that we're going through, love is so important. So make sure to help out the community where you can. So like and subscribe.
100%. What's your handle on Instagram? I know that's your main social platform.
Yeah, at Mr. Naturals. Yeah.
Perfect. Is there anything I didn't ask that you felt that you needed to speak about today?
No, man. I'm just loving where things are going in life right now. I'm in a good place right now, even though it's terrifying.
Yeah,
I'm in a good place, and I'm trying to just be as humble and just remind myself, that regardless of what I'm kind of coming in contact with, that there's a purpose behind it all, and that my legacy and my journey isn't gonna stop here. Like, this is just the beginning, and it's easy to get kind of caught up when you're in the mud, dragging through the mud, scratching. It's sometimes it's hard to see like what's gonna be the person or who you're going to be as a person 5-10 years from now. So, it's just that keep push.
Yeah, just stay focused.
Yeah. It's going to be whatever you want to be is going to happen. Yeah. Right? Yeah. We're the directors. Yeah. We're the directors.
Yeah, I love that. Anything you believe can happen. So if you're not ready, your own dreams can scare you, when they truly come to pass.
100%.
Yeah, then there's something you also mentioned that stood out for me, where you said, things that are meant to come are going to happen, and they should be easy. They should not be things that you have to struggle for them to happen. And I feel that was something really profound that you shared with me during our conversation today. To all of you brothers and sisters who joined us for today's conversation with my brother Ru, the CEO of Mr. Naturals, I want to encourage you to subscribe to the channel. That's one of the ways that you can support. Many of you have been reaching out to me asking, how can we support the work you do with Madaraka Festival? This YouTube channel is the first way you can subscribe and support. Secondly, leave a comment down below if today's conversation inspired you. And lastly, give this video a thumbs up. Peace.